Hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Doing Good Deeds for You. I'm Mary Ellen Vanderventer, your Lake County recorder. And today we're going to feature United Way of Lake County. I'm really excited about this show, ladies. And joining me today is Kristi Long, the president and CEO of United Way of Lake County, and Jennifer Yonan, you have a big title, Vice President of Marketing and Donor Relations for United Way. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is really exciting, and I have to tell you, one of the reasons that I wanted to feature United Way was because we have just completed our workplace giving campaign, and I'm very proud to say that the Recorder's Office had 100% participation, and we have had that the last couple of years. But you know, it really got me thinking that if 27 employees were so convinced that United Way did such wonderful things, I really wanted the public to hear more about United Way as well. And maybe you can share with us some wonderful things that you have been working on. So Kristi, let me start with you. If somebody says, just what the heck does United Way do? How would you explain that? What's the answer?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you for having 100% participation in your department. That is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
The county runs an active United Way campaign, and we love having the county as a partner of ours. When it comes to what United Way does, you know, there's probably two things I would say. One is we're really about bringing the leadership in the county and then the resources needed together to help solve some of the critical problems facing families, and really around health and human services. Okay. The second thing, though, that we do is we really concentrate on education. And this is something that our board of directors decided about 9 years ago now. In fact, you were probably on our board at that point.
Full disclosure, right? I was on the board for a little bit.
That's right, for 6 years. It was wonderful having you. But the board really thought about, instead of looking at the same issues over and over and over, was there anything we could do on a local level to prevent issues from happening to individuals, to children, to families. And they felt that by looking at education, that might be a way to try to just break that cycle of poverty for families.
So, Jennifer, tell me what you mean by that, because in the past, I think United Way used to kind of be money in, money out. They had wonderful donors. You were able to raise all that money, and then you gave the money to different programs throughout Lake County. But really, it has changed, hasn't it, over the last 10 years? So really what is it, what's the difference now?
I think the difference now is, like Kristi said, we're really focused on a specific issue. When we take a look at all the things that are preventing families and individuals from being successful, there's really one common denominator, and it is education. Without a good education, you can't get a living wage job. You probably aren't going to have medical insurance benefits. You might not be able to afford a car. There are a lot of things that happen in a person's life that they don't have access to because the education isn't there. So our goal is really around getting people the proper education, hopefully getting kids to graduate from high school so that they're prepared to succeed in life.
So what are the programs that United Way has decided to focus on, and how did you get there? How did you determine which ones you were going to choose?
Well, one of the special things about United Way is that everything is done with volunteer involvement and expertise. That when we're looking at issues, we want to make sure that there are people at the table that really understand those issues. There are volunteers who understand the community and bring other expertise. So we've had a lot of task forces that led us in the direction and then currently manage our progress. And our 4 areas that we focus on are early childhood education, Success by 6, and that's really focusing on 0 at birth to age 5, making sure that when a child enters kindergarten, they know their basics, they know their colors, they know their numbers, they know their alphabet, they know how to behave in class, and think how wonderful it is for teachers, you know, when children arrive.
Exactly.
Then after that, we look at 3rd grade reading as the next critical milestone. And if you stop to think about it, one thing I learned that makes a lot of sense is you learn to read up through grade 3, but from 4th grade on, you have to be able to read and comprehend to learn. So one of the things we know is in higher poverty school districts in Lake County, at least 80% of the children really don't know how to engage with books or can read at grade level by the end of 3rd grade.
Isn't that amazing?
It's critical.
It is critical.
It's critical. So a big piece there is getting readers and tutors in the classrooms to work with the kids and getting books in the homes. We know high poverty homes, oftentimes they have no reading material for the children. And getting it in homes in English and Spanish, depending on what the family is speaking.
Oh my goodness, sure.
Yeah, so that's the second area.
Okay.
The third area is then staying in school. You know, how do you get kids excited enough about middle school, high school? How do you get parents engaged to support their children? And the importance of that high school graduation that will prepare them for whatever comes next in their life. And then the fourth area is safe and stable families. And that's when basic needs come in. You know, is there food in the house? Is there a home that is safe, that has, you know, the basics? Transportation, violence prevention, all of that really helps support families that in turn help their child with their education.
So how do you pick the children? Or how do you get involved in these programs? If I was a family and I wanted to participate, how do you even go about that? It seems huge in Lake County. Do you pick a certain community? How do you do it?
Well, the way we did it was we really looked at where the needs in Lake County are the greatest. And then we looked at Waukegan, and we said that's the largest community here in Lake County. Sure. There's a lot of great assets, and there's some great partnerships here in Waukegan. And so working with District 60, the school district, we started a partnership with them and said, you know, we would like to start doing some programs here. Would you be a willing partner? And they welcomed us with open arms with Success by 6. And one of the first things that we did with Waukegan schools back 6 years ago was assess the incoming kindergartners to find out where was their skill level when they started on the first day of school. So establishing that benchmark and then setting our programs and our goals so that we can see the progress and measure that.
Okay, well then how do you, I guess the question is, so you've been doing this for a couple of years now then. So how do you know that you're making a difference? What's the benchmark? How do you even know if there's results and if they're good or not so good?
Well, we're really excited because we do have some wonderful results we can share with you today. But I will say every piece of what we do is measured.
Okay.
So we do pre-testing of children, we do pre-questions of families. What are you currently doing? How often are you reading to your child? You know, how often is your child just sitting in front of a television? You know, then hopefully share great learning opportunities with the parents and what they can be doing with their children, and then post-test. But one of the things, as Jennifer said, before we started any of the programming, we went in to find out how many of the kindergartners were actually prepared. And that was in 2006 in Waukegan. And that year, 6% of the kindergartners were deemed ready to succeed.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And that was based on a test that the state of California let us use. It involved not only testing of the children or evaluating the children, but then the teachers also gave us input, and then the parents also gave us a lot of information about what's going on at home. Happy to say, after putting programming in place then to address some of the deficits we found in the testing, in 2009 we retested that kindergarten class, and it had increased to 29%. But then this past October, so in 2012, we tested again the incoming class, and it's up to 41%.
Oh my gosh.
So almost half of the incoming kindergartners in Waukegan, they were ready. They were excited.
So how did they get ready? What's an example of one of the things that you did?
Well, and that's the magic of the programs that we put in place. And this is really neat because we involve a lot of different partners to come work along with us. For example, in Waukegan, we partner with the Waukegan Public Library to host early learning clubs. And early learning clubs are a series of opportunities where families come with their preschool age child. So the parents are there, the child is there, and the instructors show them really how to be their child's first teacher. So they get a number of materials and tools. They learn how to count. They might have a little pile of Cheerios in front of them, and they learn how to count 10 objects. They learn their colors, their shapes. They make it very fun. It's a very interactive environment, but the parents are actually hands-on being the teacher for their child. So early learning clubs is one of the ways that we help, and we've got them, like I said, with the Waukegan Public Library. We've expanded into Round Lake. We do a lot of programs there with Mano a Mano. We've started in North Chicago with early learning clubs. So those have been going wonderfully. And the kids, when they graduate, they leave with a little certificate that says that they're ready for kindergarten. There's also a home visiting program, which I'll let Kristi tell a little bit more about. It's more intensive.
The home visiting program is a partnership between United Way, One Hope United, and the Lake County Health Department.
Okay.
And this identifies the most at-risk families. These are the families, you know, moms are young, they're isolated, they may not have any kind of a support system. They literally do not know what to do with their child. This is a program where you hear young moms say, I don't talk to my baby because my baby doesn't talk to me. So they really don't understand the basic brain development that goes on. So the home visitors, they actually go into the home and model the behavior for the mom. What should the mom be doing every day with that baby, that toddler? The neat thing about the program is to be in it, you have to have a preschooler. So the home visitors are helping the parents get the preschooler ready for school.
Okay.
But they also have to have a baby or a pregnancy. So then they're helping that family get that second child on the straight and narrow right from the very beginning. And that, it's a program that's near and dear to me because we can guarantee without this kind of intervention, these kids are not going to do well.
Those are fabulous programs. So if one of our viewers decided, I would love to help, I would love to volunteer with my time or my talents, how do they get involved in United Way to be part of some of this?
Well, I would say our website is really the best place to go.
Okay, and we'll be sure to show that as
yeah,
well.
and so our website has, you know, all of the programs listed. We also have a section just for volunteering.
Okay.
We're always looking for, you know, new donors, program support, so that we can reach more families and more kids that do need these services as well.
Oh, that sounds terrific. Well, I know you brought a video today, and really I love this video. So if we could, let's take a moment and watch the video, and we'll be back in just a minute. I love that video. That is my favorite video. And as you can see by the name, it's called Statistics. But there's a little story behind that, right?
Yes, and the K in the title is intentional.
It's not spelled incorrectly.
No, it's not spelled incorrectly. We've been asked that before. The statistics refers to both the data in the video, but also the stick figures that are the characters.
It's such a powerful message, I think. Just watching that video alone, I hope you are all compelled to help and volunteer and donate, because what a difference, what a difference everything can make. I just want to be sure, did we highlight all of the programs before we get into really a big thing for us, Find Help Lake County? Was there any other things that we should be talking about in terms of the 4 focus groups from United Way?
I think we would want to mention that our Reading Success Program, which is really all about getting kids to read at grade level by 3rd grade, is really a fantastic program, and we've seen huge results from that. Kids, like 97% of the kids in the program have improved their reading scores. It's phenomenal.
Where do they get the books from?
Well, they're in the classroom. We
Okay.
send volunteer readers and tutors into elementary schools here in Waukegan.
So anybody could be a volunteer?
You
That
can
would
sign
be
up through us,
That'd be
and
great.
then we train you and put you into the schools.
Okay.
And they work with kids every week, once a week. They have a regular time with them, and then during the school year, the kids actually receive twice a year 6 books each time. So they will start building their own home library with the books that they receive through the program.
And how do they get those books? Are they donated throughout the community?
They are, and for the past 2 years, we've had Page It Forward over the summer, where we have collected gently used children's books.
Okay.
Then those in turn are put together for grade appropriate, given back into the schools, especially the high poverty schools where we know that there may not be a lot of books at home.
Because I would imagine, particularly if they enjoy reading and they've done it in the school year, you have to keep them engaged and active in the summer, right?
Absolutely.
Are there other little camps or programs that anything happens in the summer?
You know, last year we piloted one thing where we sent magazines to the children over the summer, the Highlight magazines.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we were able to broker a deal where we were able to get in the magazines at a very low cost, and you know how exciting it is as a kid to get something in the mail. So, and we're looking at other things as well, because we know you can really fall back over the summer if you don't have something kind of challenging you. So it's an issue we actually have some volunteers looking at right now.
So the real focus has changed to education, and you have certainly told us why and the reasons why and how we're going to get there. And geez, can you imagine in a couple years when those kindergartners are going for their first jobs? And isn't it going to be phenomenal? Yes. I mean, even just being able to fill out an application and knowing what you want. And
you're really talking about changing a child's life.
You really are.
The whole trajectory.
It's so wonderful.
It is.
But having said that, I think you still also there's an opportunity to help families in need immediately, right? You have not lost that focus or that part of United Way. Right. And I think there's a whole host of ways to find out, but one of the big tools is called Find Help Lake County, right?
Yes.
And we've also put the screen up. This is what it looks like on the computer, but what is Find Help Lake County, and who is it geared for?
Well, one of the things that we've heard over and over is that people don't know where to turn for help. And so
Now, what would an example be of help?
Oh my gosh, say you need
Childcare.
Yeah,
okay.
childcare.
You don't know where to send your kid for childcare so that you can go to work.
Okay.
Immunizations, senior care for a parent, a food bank. You don't have food in the house. I mean, it can be an ordinary to a very, very critical basic need. So Find Help Lake County, which you can see here, .org, it is a website of over 1,800 services available to citizens throughout Lake County. And you can go in and you can do a very basic search like housing or health or childcare, or you can do an advanced search if you know you need something in a certain area of the county and you know you can only do it during certain hours and that kind of thing. The other neat thing about Find Help Lake County is you can see here, you can find help Agencies also list their wish lists. So if you've got an agency that needs desks or a conference room table, or if they need things for their clients, if they need diapers, if they need things for newborn babies, they can list all of these wish lists, and then neighborhoods, faith community, schools, they can do kind of drives.
Right, I was just
collecting.
thinking if you wanted to do a drive, but you weren't sure what to collect,
Exactly.
you would go on here, right?
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
Exactly. And then the third component is volunteering. So if somebody wants to volunteer, again, we highly recommend that agencies list all of their volunteer opportunities here. So it's kind of a one-stop shopping. So if you need help, or if you want to give help.
Well, who manages this? Who puts all the data in here and who keeps this all up to date?
Well, we have a designated staff person who
From United
Way that manages the data that's in the database, but we do ask all the agencies, they are trained on how to populate their profiles. So we would love to do more training and more outreach for more agencies so that they know how to do that. Much of this information has been put in there over the last 3 or 4 years. We work in partnership actually with Lake County government and receive some funding to do this. And these resources are also available in a print guide called Find Help Lake County. It's a print version.
I was just going to ask, what if you can't get to the computer?
And that's why we do the print guide. Although we are trying to drive more and more people to access the information on the website because it is much more current. We can keep the changes in the information much more real time on the website.
But so if you don't have a computer, you could go to the library?
Absolutely. Or to probably municipal government office. The county offices have them. You have them right here in the county building at your information desk. All of the food pantries, all of the township offices have them. Police, fire departments, Public Works are even carrying them around. We've even heard that Commonwealth Edison has them in their trucks because when, unfortunately, people have to have their utilities shut off and they come running out and say, what do I do now? Now they can refer them to a number where they can go and find out about a LIHEAP program or something like that.
So how do you know this works? You know that all your other programs work because you've watched the results and you maintain the results. Are you confident that people are really, that this is the avenue they're going to when they really need help? Hopefully they are, and hopefully they'll know today to do this as well. But are you sensing that people are really using this tool?
Well, one thing I would say is it's confidential. So anybody that goes on and uses it, you know, we're not collecting names, we're not collecting their personal information. So someone can go on and, you know, search for any kind of service they need and nobody's going to know that they were there. And I think that's really important, especially when it comes to safety issues and that, you know, you have 100% confidentiality. Now, the bad side of that is we don't know who uses it, so we can't talk to them specifically, but we do a lot of surveying of the agencies that use it. You know, is it user-friendly for them to use with their clients? When they're using it with their clients, are they finding the information that they need? Are they finding the services that they need? So we spend a lot of time on that. We also are able to track what people search for. So we also know kind of the top needs, and we do that by month, and they're often very similar. I mean, it is housing, food, healthcare, you know, those three things come up over and over as a top search.
You know, what if there's an emergency or a disaster or something? Is United Way the one to call in that instance also?
We would be working very closely with the Emergency Management Agency with Lake County to prepare the information in here for a specific emergency. So let's take, for example, during seasonal flu season. We're in flu season right now. Yeah. We make sure that this database is populated with any place that you can go and get a flu shot in the Lake County community because that's kind of a top of mind issue during this time. So if we knew that there was an emerging need, if we were anticipating some type of a crisis, we would start to work with the Emergency Management Agency and make sure that those resources are populated and probably get together with the consortium of the providers that would be the front line people to go to. So during Hurricane Katrina, we kept hearing, you know, rumors that we're going to get 2,000 people are going to arrive, and where are they going to go, and this, that, and the other. So we really do coordinate our efforts with all of the other providers, and particularly the frontline providers. Your PADS, Catholic Charities, the county. Those that have the widest end of the funnel for services.
I keep thinking, again, if you just don't have that darn computer, it's too bad you can't pick up the phone, like a 911. Is there anything in the works for that? I don't know.
Actually, there is. Most of the United States is covered by a call-in number of 211, where you can call and ask for help. Again, it's almost like a find help thing where you are connected then with the assistance that you're looking for. Unfortunately, Illinois has been a little slow to do it. Part of it has been cost. But we have brought together some partners in Lake County. We're aware of what's going on in other areas. We've looked at it. We understand a little bit better the cost that it would take to cover. And just right now with the economy and that, we haven't felt like it was a step we could take. But everything that is currently in Find Help would be right into 211. So it's almost like we're fully prepared. We have all the information. It would just be having that call center.
That's neat.
And throughout Illinois, United Ways are trying to be really smart by partnering together, across county lines or whatever it takes to do it very cost effectively. So it's in our future. I just don't know if it'll be in another year or two.
Well, I think you have your hands full with everything else that you're doing, especially for the youth and really needy families and people that just really need help in Lake County. And I hope all of you have just taken a moment and written down the United Way telephone number or the United Way website, because I would think that with the mammoth amount of work you're doing, you could certainly use volunteers and help and donations, financial donations. We're fortunate enough here to be able to help you through payroll deduction or, maybe a private donation. But for those folks that are maybe retired and are looking for something to do, boy, I think United Way is definitely the place to show up at.
Absolutely. We would love to have them contact
You'd put them to work?
Yes.
We can keep them busy.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really proud of United Way of Lake County. I think they do a great job. I hope you've learned a lot today. I hope you'll be calling Kristi and Jennifer and checking out the website. And really, they do great, great work, and we're really grateful for all that you have done.
Well, thank
Thanks
you so
for
much
coming.
for
Thanks for the
highlighting us.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on another edition of Doing Good Deeds for You, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.